We in the studio. We in the studio. With Rob in the studio. In the studio. In the studio. Catch a vibe in the studio. In the studio. We in the studio. With Rob. We in the studio. In the studio. We in the studio. Catch a vibe. Yeah, I'm in the studio with Rob. I need to make the heat flicker. Izzle on it, only thing can make a Rico beat sicker. So listen and get your wisdom. Gemstones on your head. Good with the OG like Flintstones. Good in bed. Been living a long time and he got something to say. Depending on how you feeling, dog, you might got something to pray. This type of influences, you ain't gotta filter through your liver. We in the studio with Rob. Come let the heat rock simmer.
Yo, what's up? Welcome to another episode of In the Studio with Rob. I am Rob. Hey, I want to thank you all for tuning in and listening and, just even the feedback. I appreciate it. This one is going to be a little different. It's Mother's Day. And, I lost my mom a few years ago and, it hasn't been easy, but, I really want to, a lot of times I like to speak to the fellas and kind of, really talk to fellas about being men and really stepping up to the plate, taking responsibility. But this one, I'm speaking to everyone about appreciating your mother. Like I said, my mom died a few years ago, so Mother's Day is not quite the same. I appreciate all the women in my life, especially my wife, and even other women that I've gotten to know over the years and that really, speak to my life. And I know pray for me as well. But it's different with your mom. But one of the things that I've noticed is that people take mothers and fathers, but we talk about mothers today. We take them for granted. And what I mean by that is not that you don't, when Mother's Day come around, you don't buy them great gifts or when it's a birthday, you might do certain things or whatever. But I'm talking about like on those occasions, those days when they don't do or say what you might want to hear. When they don't, co-sign your mess. And then all of a sudden, mom, she old fashioned or she don't know what's going on today. And, you got all these different things that you might want to come up with reasons why not to listen. And I'm not even telling you to listen to your mom. What I'm telling you is that at all times, respect your mom. At all times, make sure you show your mom love in spite of how you may get in your emotions and feel about something she said or didn't say. But show her love, appreciate her, and make sure that my mom's the greatest and blah, 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 doesn't happen only on Mother's Day or, heaven forbid, after she's gone. And then all of a sudden you want to really talk about how great your mom was, but when she's here, you don't spend no time with her. My mom has 4 children, 3 girls and me. And I can honestly say that I never doubted what my mom thought of me. I'm pretty sure my sisters know exactly what my mom thought of them and how she felt about them. We all spent enough time with her for her to know us as adults, to appreciate the things we do well, and also, especially, and I'll speak for myself, to check me when I'm not doing right, and I had a thing where, especially like with my mom, no matter how old you get, my mom always going to treat me like a little boy. It's like, yo, you do what I say. And I was cool with that. In fact, the older I got, the more I was better with that. Because I know that when she looked at me, she saw my heart in a way that probably only God could. And even though I wasn't doing right all the time, she always spoke life into me, into the things I was doing, so that, you know, I never felt like I was alone. I never felt like it wasn't enough. Or I never felt, the only thing I ever felt like, sometimes I felt like I'm letting her down because I ain't living right or I ain't doing certain thing, but even that, it drove me to want to be better because I knew what my mom thought of me and what my mom expected of me. My mom had high expectations of me as a man, not me of, like sometimes people could say, well, my parents expect a lot from me. And that's good. But I'm not talking about in a become something type of way. I'm talking about as a person. My mom expected me to have high character. My mom expected me to have high morals. My mom expected me to love God. My mom expected me to walk a righteous life. That's what I'm talking about. And even though I didn't, at a certain point, didn't even want to, she still held me to that standard. So when I fell off or when I was not doing quite right, she was still there to push me and say, yo, you still you're supposed to be this. You're supposed to act this way. Um, and so because of that, it drove me to try to be that, try to act that way, because I knew that this wasn't just well, all kids great and blah, blah, blah. No, she prayed. She prayed over and over and over again, not only for me, but also for my sisters. But I'm just talking about for myself now. But she prayed for me to be right, to get right. And so she had the backing of God. So I couldn't fight that for too long anyway. And so what I want you guys to understand is that when you don't honor your mother, when you don't honor your parents and you're not showing them the respect that they're due, that's going to come back and bite you in your butt. Because God expects you. He didn't say honor your mother and father if they right or if they do right. He said honor your mother and father. Don't mean that you always gonna agree with them. It don't even mean that you gonna have to, that you would, have to be around them and they're, abusive or whatever. But I'm just talking about honoring your parents in a way that you say, I understand what you're saying. I understand what you want from me, or I understand your way of thinking, but that's not mine. I'm not going to disrespect you. I'm just going to do it a different way. And we can find ways to dialogue and ways to express ourselves without being disrespectful, especially to our mothers. I heard someone say today that, when your mom gives birth to you or gives birth, that's the closest she is to death. And it's like life and death at the same time. It's like she can go either way. That's how much of a impact you have coming out of her body that you could actually take her life. And if you start thinking about that and understanding that, it's like, wow, this lady could have died to give birth to me. But now because I'm of age, of whatever the age is that I want to be disrespectful, I think I got the right to do that. No, that's life, man. Your mom risked her life for you. It's not a lot of people that will do that for you or have ever done that for you. If you go back through your life and start checking off, how many people risk their life for me? I guarantee you, when you start with your mom, after that, you probably don't have too many people after that. Very few. And and some of those people that did it probably didn't even decide to. It just happened. But your mom made a decision to risk her life to bring you life. And you have to realize and appreciate your mother. I want my nieces, nephews, my sons, daughters, grandchildren to take opportunities to give honor to your mom. Not because she's always right. Not because she don't get on your nerves. Not because she don't, she look, they're human too. They mess up. They do things wrong. But give her honor because she risked her life for you. don't disrespect your mom. Because at some point, you're going to have a child more than likely. And you think that ain't coming back on you? Oh, yeah, it's coming back. It's coming back on you tenfold. So I would suggest that you be very careful in how you speak to your mother. My mom, like I said, I, I wouldn't be half the man I am today if my mom didn't pray for me, if my mom didn't introduce me to God, if my mom didn't smack me in the back of my head every now and then and say, hey, you better act right. If my mom didn't even take the time to say, look at my wife and see that she wasn't quite happy enough and say, hey, you better go fix that. My mom let me know that was on me if my wife was happy. And I had to fix it, even if I thought my wife was the reason that we got into an argument or that something was wrong. My mom didn't care. She was like, no, that's your job. Fix that. Make your wife happy. But by her pouring these things into me, I became a better father. I became a better husband. I am a child of God because of her introduction. If she didn't introduce me to Christ, I would have never, or I wouldn't say never, but I don't know how I would have come to him. But she gave me that introduction. So I honored her. I respected her. I loved her. I talked to my mom in ways that were so, I guess, intimate in conversation about who I was, who she was as a person. Not her faults, not her, oh, what happened in your life. Yeah, we know some of them things I knew, but her as a person. And more importantly, I know without a shadow of a doubt what she thought of me. I know she was proud of me because she told me. It wasn't because I had to guess and wonder, or I know when she was disappointed in me because she told me. And when she was disappointed or when she was proud, I treated her the same. I didn't all of us because she disappointed in me start talking to her a certain way or disrespecting her or looking at her side eye because she was disappointed, because her disappointment was well founded. I wasn't doing right. So the disappointment, it doesn't change that I wasn't, it doesn't change our relationship. She ain't stopped loving me because she was disappointed in me. She just was telling me she was disappointed and she expected me to do better. So I had to do better. I had to change. That wasn't her issue. She was just shining light on my stupidity in most cases, or my desire to do wrong. She was shining a light on that. And sometimes it was somebody put a light on you, you'd be like roaches trying to run away from it. And so my mom shined that light, but she was shining light out of love, because she knew that if I show you who you are, if I tell you who you are, or who you're acting like, rather, how you're acting, then you will become who you are. But if no one ever tells you that you stink, you ain't gonna you take a shower and put on no cologne or put on some deodorant. You just gonna be walking around thinking you smell good. My mom wasn't gonna do that. She was gonna tell you. And she told all of us, grandkids alike, if y'all was acting up, she gonna tell you. But she wasn't doing it out of hate to embarrass you. She wasn't doing it she was doing it because she loved you and she expected more of us. 3 years ago on Father's Day. Now, and this is so, it's crazy that on Mother's Day is a struggle because my mom's no longer here, but she died actually on Father's Day. And because she died on Father's Day, it made me really think about the type of father I am. I struggle on both days a little differently, but it's so important for me to let you know that you have to appreciate your mother. You have to appreciate your mother while she's here, not because she's right all the time, not because she don't do wrong, but simply because she is your mother. if you're not in a right standing with your mother, meaning you're not speaking with her or you're mad at her, fix it. Don't wait, fix it. Because you don't even know how much time you're going to have with her. Fix it. Go call your mom. Go see your mom if she's close by and just talk to her. Let her know, Mom, I don't want you in doing this, that, or the other as far as my life, but I need you to know that I love you and I respect you. And I don't want us to have any ill will between us. You go fix that and then you move forward. But you can't grow as a person holding on to animosity or mistreating your mother or speaking ill of your mom or talking down to your mom, because it's too many of us that no longer have a mom. And some of us, some people lost their mother much earlier than I did. And, and they didn't have opportunities to really know their mother. And that's unfortunate. I had, 55 years with my mom. And I mean, again, my mom was a fusser. If you knew her, Goldie could fuss and fuss for a long time. But Goldie would give you her last, not just to her family, but to anybody in need. That was who Goldie was. Goldie Marie. That's my mom. And because she was like that, I'm like that. I share. I help people. I've always done that. I didn't even know I was doing it, but it was something that was instilled in me. And we take for granted all the beautiful things. It's nothing I wouldn't give right now to see my mom smile right now. Just to smile at me and tell me she loved me again. To hear her say that whenever I went to visit and on the way, I would spend time with her, it's like however long I was going to be in town, there was going to be at least one day or evening where I'm going to lay at the foot of her bed and we just going to talk about us. She going to tell me some things that she noticed. She going to tell me things that she was proud of me about. And it just made me feel good. And when I left, I always, I left full because she poured into me. And as I got older, I was able to pour into her. And that made me feel good because I was only really giving her back what she's given me all those years. So, like I said, if I could, it's funny when I look at my sisters, and I see their faces. I see my mom in their face. They look like her, and people say I look like her too, but I don't see me in her. I see her in them, and so that makes me feel good. But it's just it hurts, but I know I'll see her again. In God's timing. I ain't rushing it. So, but in God's timing, I'll spend time with her again and we will love on each other again, I'm sure. And we will serve God together like we've never done before. And not that we never served him before. I mean, in that way, we'll be on a whole nother level of serving him and appreciating him. But until then, I'm going to miss her. I know my sisters miss her. Everybody, again, had their own relationship. Of course, I was her favorite. So, they could argue that. But we all have our own relationship. It was different for each one of us. But she made each one of us feel special. She made sure she told each one of us how she felt about us. And no matter what I go through, I can always pull back on my mom was proud of me. I can always go back to that. My mom was proud of me. My mom loved me. My mom appreciated the things I was able to do for her. My mom said I was a good father and she loved the fact that I was a good father and a good husband. So if my mom could see that and speak to that, it made me feel like before she left, I was doing something right. She didn't have to, leave this earth wondering if her boy was ever going to get it together. She got to see it before she left here. And so your mother should be able, should see you developing into the person she prayed for, the person she prayed you would be while she's here. So don't fight. Don't keep the drama going with your mom. Love on your mom. Love on your mom. Like I said, Mother's Day is a tough day, but it's also a day where I reflect and I'm so appreciative. People say, well, God, why you take my mom? Or why you, my thing is not why did you take her, but I appreciate the time that you gave me with her. Because in reality, he didn't have to give me the woman he gave me as a mother. I could have had somebody that abused me. I could have had someone that did all kind of crazy stuff to me. But he gave me Goldie Marie to be my mother. And for those 50 some years, she poured life into me. She challenged me. She pushed me. She prayed for me. She loved me. And so I'm so grateful for that. I'm grateful to God for giving her and allowing us to share life together, that I can't say why you take her, because he didn't have to give her to me at all. I just say thank you for giving her to me. Thank you for the time that I was able to share with her. And I look forward to when we're in eternity together and sharing time together again. So I know this was a little different. I know it's Mother's Day, and and some of you're gonna listen to this a little after Mother's Day, but I just hope it encourages you to reach out to your mom if you don't have a great relationship, or if you have a relationship and for whatever reason it's not where you want it to be. Work on building that relationship. And for some of you that disrespect your mother, stop. Stop, 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 stop disrespecting your mom. No matter what she does or said, you don't have a right to disrespect her. I keep saying all the time, we go through this life and we think it's all about us and how we feel, and it's not about you. You don't get you don't have the right to disrespect your mom. So, because one day she won't be here, and you'll be like me and many others that celebrate Mother's Day without our mother. But I have my mom's sister has been great since she passed. She calls me weekly or bi-weekly and prays and sings songs for me, and that really encourages me and keeps me going. And she sounds and looks a little bit like my mom, so it always makes me feel good to hear her. So thank you, Aunt Gwen. I love you. And I have other aunts as well, and I appreciate them as well. But that's my mom's sister, so it's a little different. But like I said, love on your moms. Mom is special. So again, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Happy Mother's Day to my wife. I really love you. I appreciate the way you love my kids, our kids. You've been great. My mom loved my wife, and that was a beautiful thing to not have to go through, in-law drama. So, I appreciate that. And again, happy Mother's Day to everyone, all my sisters, my aunts, my cousins, any female that I've come across with that's a mother or that is mothering someone in some way. God bless you, and I wish that you receive the love that you deserve. You deserve love, not just on Mother's Day, but at least on Mother's Day, that people go out of their way to let you know you're special. So because you are very special, and and God bless you with children because He knew that you knew what to do with them. So to all the mothers, happy Mother's Day. And we'll talk to you soon. God bless.
Studio. We in the studio. We in the studio. We Rob in the studio. In the studio. In the studio. Catch a vibe in the studio. In the studio. We in the studio. We Rob in the studio. In the studio. We in the studio. Catch a vibe. Yeah, I'm in the studio with Rob. I need to make the heat flicker. Is alone and only thing can make a Rico beat sicker. So listen and get your wisdom. Gemstones on your head. Good with the OG like Flintstones. Good in bed. Rob living a long time and he got something to say. Depending on how you feeling, dog, you might got something to pray. This type of influence that he ain't gotta filter through your liver. We in the studio with Rob. Come let the heat rock simmer.